Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marcy. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Always showing up, showing your girl some love. You guys, this video has been sitting aside. All these fragrances have been sitting aside for over 2 months now. So while I have a little bit of time, y'all, I'm going to give you the most amazing Tuberose video you have ever seen in your life. And yes, we have some queens here and some kings and all of that. I have some newness here as well. Some things that I bought like months ago that I just have not discussed because I haven't had the time, and I wanted to give you all a dedicated thorough tuberose review. So without further ado, you all, please list your favorite tuberose fragrance down in the comments. If you don't like tuberose, let me know what you don't like tuberose. I was not a huge tuberose lover, but there are some modern tuberose scents that are amazing. Some spicy ones that I have today that are amazing. Anyway, you guys, let's get into this review. And like I said, leave me what you don't like or what you do love or your favorite tuberose fragrance down in the comments. And I promise to answer the other questions on the 2 last reviews that I did. Okay. Anyway, y'all, the very first one we're going to start with. There are two that I really want to get my nose on. One has been on my wish list for about, I would say, over 2 years now. I sampled it about 4 years ago. I did a review on Valheim Perfumery's like House, the fragrances that I had back in 2021. And I did really like the marshmallow in this fragrance, and this was Moon Carnival. I like the marshmallow and I like the tuberose, but I don't think I gave it very much of a chance. And then when it dried down, it became the most, because it's very sharp in the opening. So I was like, ooh, I was a little taken back. But as it dried down on my skin, it became the most elegant, still a little sharp, but it was just elegant and beautiful and creamy and just fluffy, a very fluffy, marshmallowy, whipped creamy tuberose. And I do think that I want to add that one to my collection at some point. I think I saw it on Fragrance by Canada once, but I may have to order just the smaller size. Another one, you guys, I'll be over in London in a little bit. This fragrance house I need to get my nose on, and it's no longer called Paco Rabanne apparently, but it's called the Rabanne Collection. And there is one called Midnight Sex. I'm going to go through the whole collection. Hopefully they'll let me do like a review, or I can get some samples while I'm over there, because I can't buy all of them, because I think there are like 8 or 10 that have come out in the collection. So this one's like a coconutty tuberose, some orris, and some sandalwood. That sounds amazing. And just looking at all of these fragrances today, I really feel like coconut, pink pepper, and tuberose, they all just go together, y'all, okay? There's something mixed with a spicy pink pepper and a tuberose, or an orange blossom and a tuberose and a pink pepper, or a creamy coconutty lactonic tuberose scent. Stunning, okay? Anyway, we're going to talk about the queen first, okay? The queen, she still reigns, and I will give you another scent that is very similar to her. I found this fragrance in Milan as well. So this is Rouge Malachite, okay? I fell in love with Rouge Malachite about 4 years ago, and I've never stopped loving it. And this has been on my one of my top tuberose scents of all times. It is still like in the number 3 spot, you all. It is a gorgeous, it smells like there's a little bit of jasmine, orange blossom, loads of pink pepper, but a spicy, this is a sexy tuberose, okay? If you like that alien DNA, but you want a little bit of an added sweet vanillic orange blossom and tuberose scent, then you may want to try Rouge Malachite. People have warned everyone, I think, or I have warned everyone, before you decide to spray this fragrance, make sure it settles, because it can be a bit sharp and abrasive in the opening. Do not overspray this fragrance. I have had this for years. It is macerated to capacity, and it's a beast. But Rouge Malachite, if you love tuberose, you need to try a creamy, slightly sweetened, a little green, sharp, spicy in the opening, lactonic tuberose. Get your nose on this one. Now, there's another fragrance that I do have that was released in 2024, and this one is Xerjoff Quattro Pizzi. Yes, they are different enough to own both, but they are very similar. They give that creamy, slightly powdery vibe. Of course, Quattro Pizzi is a little more tropical, a little more smoky, but this one definitely gives Rouge Malachite with some coconut that's very creamy, a little smoky, and a lot of pink pepper, you guys. So to love these fragrances, to me, you gotta love pink pepper as well because they are very spicy, tropical smelling, and coconutty. Like I said, to me, they're different enough to own. I love them both. There's some Divana in here. There's a slight greenness in the opening in here, but there's some Divana in here that's really abrasive in the opening, but I love the sharpness in the opening. And as this has macerated, it has gotten a little bit more Divana-ish only in the opening, but you still get a little bit of that greenness all the way through, but it smells like tropical palms, coconut, and a really creamy vanilla tuberose, and I love it. And I will not make them that long anymore, okay? Anyway, the next one we're going to talk about is 100 Silent Ways. So we all know and love 100 Silent Ways. It's peachy, tuberose. It's very vanillic. It's vanillic sweet. I said watery on Instagram, but it's juicy from the peach, not watery. But you get those juicy peaches, vanilla, tuberose, and the X version, you get a little bit of a suede leathery nuance, not a hardcore suede or leather, but more of a lush suede on top of the peach note. I think there's a little bit of iris in this one as well, which makes it a little powdery and creamy with that suede and the peaches and the tuberose. This one, like I said, 100 Silent Ways is definitely more vanillic, more fruity. It's a little more sharp. This one's more demure, this one's more cutesy, all of that good stuff. But they are both lovely fragrances. Daytime, nighttime, they're both amazing. 100 Silent Ways by Nishane. Get your nose on these. But yeah, this one definitely holds a lot of vanilla. Okay, I smell some gardenia or maybe some other florals in here as well, but it's absolutely stunning. I've given this fragrance out as a recommendation for so many people at work, and I think one girl, her name is Nee, she's already gone through a bottle of this, okay? Anyway, get your nose on those two. You cannot go wrong with the OG 100 Silent Ways. All right, the next one we're going to go to is L'Interdit. This was one of my first tuberose fragrances about 5 years ago. I love and fell in love with the note of sesame. This is more of a powdery, warm, spicy tuberose with a little bit of sesame. This one actually is my favorite tuberose. I love this one. If you want something a little sexier, a little darker, yet you can still wear it in the daytime, but you like the note of sesame, it just gives it a little bit of a flair. It says black pepper, but do not be scared because there is not a super spicy note in here. I think it smells more vanillic, tuberose, powdery with a little bit of that ambrette seedy sesame note, you guys. My favorite from the entire line of the L'Interdit fragrances, L'Interdit Givenchy. I think this is is this the Parfum? Anyway, I will list it down below. Or the Extrait. No, I don't think it's the Extrait, y'all. But anyway, there's an EDP I think this is the Intense. Sorry. I don't even think people were doing extraits when this came out as much. Today, every designer fragrance, has an Intense, or every niche has an extrait. When this was out, extraits were few and far between or something like that. Anyway, the next one we're going to talk about is Tuberose Parisienne, and this is by the House of Orme. These are all natural fragrances, so I better get to using this fragrance before it turns bad on me. As we all know, natural fragrances, they go bad faster, or they, not go bad, but Anyway, this is beautiful. I've had it for years and I've worn it only twice, and it's a beast, so you don't need a lot. I do have another one from this house called Toy Toy Toy. It's a beautiful, warm, spicy, black peppery vanilla, but there's a slight animalic note to Toy Toy Toy, and I just got to get used to wearing it. Maybe I have a discovery kit on this, so I need to do a review on this house, you guys. I'm so behind. Anyway, Orange Blossom. There's some tobacco in here. There's a bit of a powdery Orange Blossom tuberose. It's very green in the opening, but it's smoky, powdery. It's sexy. It's elegant. It's all of that. But it's one that you must love the note of a green tuberose, a sweet green vanillic tuberose, Tuberose Parisienne by the House of Orme. For a moment, I didn't think I was recording, you guys. So the next one we're going to talk about is by one that you guys love so much. And this is by the House of Creed. This is Queen of Silk. Now, this was not a love upon first sniff for me. And initially, I bought a 10 ml decant. And I didn't wear it because it gave me like Britney Spears fantasy, like early 90s vibes. But then I kept smelling this on other people and I fell in love. And then I took my decant over to Milan, my travel to Milan, and I wore it in Milan. May kept sniffing me. She said it smells so good. I was like, I know I smelled this on Levi Tyler at Mystery Modern Mark's fragrance release that we had out here. And he smelled amazing. I had already written it off, but then I kept smelling it. It smelled so good. And then I fell in love with it. Used my entire travel up in Milan, so I ended up purchasing a bottle. You guys, if you guys don't buy your Creeds from Harrods, they are like $200 cheaper at Harrods. Yes, you might have to pay a $40 fee, but like I said, buy fragrances from Harrods when you get the 10% off. Anyway, I think this is everywhere now, but for the future, make sure you buy your Creed fragrances from Harrods. I don't know why they are a couple $100 or like $180 something cheaper over there all the time. Anyway, the next one we're going to talk about is one that I'm obsessed over. And this is a new fragrance house to me. This is a new fragrance of 2024, but I discovered this fragrance house. He has the Roman collection, which I absolutely love. 1, 4, and 5. I have a review on that. And then the Costiera collection was just released last month. Anyway, this is, and the fragrance that I smelled over in Milan, South of 5th, smells a little different from this one, but I love this one, you guys. Anyway, this is South of 5th by the House of Adamo. When I tell you this is a masterpiece, it is a masterpiece. But you gotta like the greenness. You gotta like something green. You gotta like pink peppers, specifically, not just green notes, you know, as in Accento Overdose by Zerja. You gotta like that Siberian pine. I love a good balanced piney fragrance, you guys. This is gorgeous. It's Siberian pine, pink pepper, a little bit of background rose, and that tuberose in here is shining as this fragrance macerate or oxidizes, okay? Also, you get a little sweet vanillic nuance from the praline, which balances that pine out as well. Tuberose, Siberian pine, some Haitian vetiver. This is completely unisex, y'all. It's a little, it just reminds me of a sexy man, but I want to smell like that sexy man. Y'all, this is so good. Get your nose on this. And this is South of 5th by Adamo. This is luxurious. This literally smells like a hot, expensive Miami speakeasy or something, you know? Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful. Get your nose on this. I'm obsessed with that fragrance. Furthermore, all of them. Clifton, get your nose on it. A gorgeous fig and peach. You guys, I wore both of those fragrances to work, not layered, but I wore Clifton to work. People were obsessed with my smell. So many compliments. I wore this to work. They did not like it sprayed on, but they were like, what do you have on, Marcy? I said, it's this. You got to smell it in the dry down, y'all. Okay. Well, I love the opening all the way through to the dry down, but a lot of the women was like, wow, that smells amazing. After I sprayed it on a card and I let it sit, I was like, you guys, this is the fragrance that you didn't like earlier. Okay. And people realize at work that you have to let your fragrances relax and sit on your skin or sit somewhere and not judge it by the opening, okay? And it is getting a little warm in here because your girl is super hyped up. So the next one we're going to talk about is it's affordable. I'm not going to call it a cheapie. And this is Rachel Zoe's, and this is called Fearless. My girl Tammy turned me onto this. You guys, I've already used the 10 ml Travel Up for this. This smells so good. It's like a buttery, coconutty sweet vanillic lactonic tuberose, but it's so buttery. It's delicious, and guess what? This bottle is only like $30. So anyway, I love. This is so affordable and such an amazing buy. Fearless, they have another one with a note of tuberose, but I get a little bit more of a buttery tuberose, a buttery vanillic tuberose, not that buttery tuberose you get in BDK's Tuberose Imperial. Now, I did like that fragrance a lot, but I ended up decluttering it. And this was when I wasn't like a super huge fan of tuberose, but I loved it. And this was about 4 years ago when that one, 4 or 5 years ago when that one initially came out. I think it was 4 years ago, y'all. Because I've only had my YouTube channel for 4 years, going on 4 years now. It'll be 4 years in February that I've had my YouTube channel, you guys. This is crazy. Anyway, I am loving the journey. So anyway, Rachel Zoe's Fearless, sweet, buttery, vanillic tuberose that is super affordable. It's not a heady tuberose. It's very smooth. It gives it a little bit of a tropical vibe because of the coconut that's in here. There's also, don't be afraid of that note. There is also, I think, verbena or something like that in here, but y'all forget about it. It may probably just add a little bit of a citrus to it. Anyway, it's gorgeous, Fearless, $30. Get your nose on this one. The next one we're going to talk about is one by the house of Monogattikinis, you guys. And when I smelled this over in Milan, I was like, I need it. I did not go back. They didn't let me back in the venue. I was going to go back to buy this. Anyway, I said, forget about it. This was exclusive to Turkey. This is called Wild Tuberose. This is one of the best tuberose scents that you will probably ever get your nose on. If you like more of an elegant, quiet, luxury type tuberose fragrance, it's very lush, smooth, some citruses in here. It's not a sharp tuberose. It's a beautiful sandalwood. Like I said, his fragrance, what is it? Sienna gives me that same DNA, but this one has that. I love the DNA of Monogattikinis. It smells expensive. So in here, you have your, I put it that it was very lush, okay? You have your bergamot, magnolia, there's some green notes, there's some sugar, sandalwood, jasmine, and some olibanum. It is not too spicy. I don't get a huge frankincense or olibanum note in here. It's just a little warm, slightly spicy. The warmth from that, maybe the sugar and the olibanum makes it smell like a warm, spicy vanilla. But you guys, I just purchased this a couple months ago and waited to do this review to talk about this tuberose fragrance. But you got to get your nose on this tuberose fragrance. Wild tuberose, a little green in the opening. It is gorgeous. I love the house of Monogattikinis. I do have a review on his fragrance house. I need to do a review on the other fragrance, the other boozy gourmand fragrance that he had over in Milan. But you guys, maybe we'll do an updated review at a later date. Okay, I got too much. I still have not given you guys the review. I went to Brazil for my birthday last year, and I was supposed to, you know, do a fragrance house review on the stuff that I picked up over there, and I haven't done it yet. Go figure. But I thought about it today. I was like, maybe I'll talk about it on Instagram. That'll give me a little bit of an energy, a vibe to come and talk about it over here on YouTube. Anyway, Wild Tuberose is amazing. Get your nose on this one. I've already gone through like a 10 ml travel of this fragrance that I got over in Milan. So anyway, the next one we're going to talk about is a classic over here. It's a classic tropical summer scent. Everyone loves it. It's amazing. I have the EDP version of this, and I took this to Africa, and when I tell you I couldn't smell it after about 2 hours, I was sweating so much in Africa. So I think this is good, a good fragrance for a moderate temperature or moderate weather, because if it's too hot, you guys, this is going to wear off on your skin. And this is called Tom Ford's Solay Blanc. So this one has some nutty notes in here, creamy, coconutty, nutty. There's a beautiful note of a creamy tuberose that I do get in this fragrance, but it is very toned down, very soft, sexy. This is like nighttime sexy in the tropics, okay? Anyway, Solay Blanc, get your nose on it, but you gotta like the note of a light pistachio, tuberose, coconut, creaminess. To me, There's some jasmine in here. You gotta like the note of jasmine as well, because I'm getting a really good dose of jasmine in Solay Blanc. They do have the EDT that may be a little lighter. I've always wanted to try that one. Anyway, this is the EDP. Get your nose on this one. Yeah, halfway through this baby, because in Africa, I was spraying like crazy. Ghana to be exact. I know Sophia's like, I hate when you just say Africa. Be specific, because she's from Ethiopia, so in Ghana, y'all. Just in case Sophia's watching this review. So anyway, the next one we're going to talk about is by the House of Mask Milano. If you like a chestnut whipped cream, a slight nutty tuberose scent, you all, this one is absolutely gorgeous. This was out before Blanche Bête, you guys. So this is literally giving the vibes of Blanche Bête, but minus the vanillic sweetness. But this is milky, it's like tonic. You get that, I think there's marshmallow or whipped cream in here. Sweet vanilla, tuberose, and a beautiful chestnut. Mask Milano Madeleine, okay? Gorgeous fragrance. I've had this for about 4 years now, and I still love it. But you gotta love a good chestnut or nuttiness. Almost gives like that, what is it? Tamine's Bravi, but this one's so much better than Bravi. Bravi is nice. I wanted Bravi to have a little bit more of a sweeter walnut scent in there, or more of a walnut. I didn't get the walnut that I wanted in Bravi, but I may have to revisit Bravi, maybe buy a travel and then spray it and let it sit, because this juice has macerated. It's sweeter, nuttier, creamier, and it's a love, y'all. Not a super huge tuberose scent in this fragrance, but you do get wafts of florals in this fragrance as well. The next one we're going to talk about is Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil. Yes, this may be hard to find, but I actually saw this in a lot of places. Initially said it was discontinued. This is a nuttiness. This is also another chestnut fragrance. Chestnut, whipped cream, tuberose, some beautiful florals, slight greenness. Also in this fragrance, there's something specific in here. And Solay Blanc, not Solay Blanc. What is this, y'all? Whipped cream, cypress. There's cypress in here. Pink pepper. And then there is some bitter orange. Okay, so you do get some citruses in this fragrance. It is beautiful, but someone said because of that nuttiness in this fragrance, they kind of said it smelled a little bit like tortilla chips. But I pick up more on a nuttiness of the fragrance, not necessarily tortilla chips, but I kind of got what they were talking about, okay? Anyway, it's a little spicy from the pink pepper, a little green, dries down creamy. A coworker of mine just recently fell in love with this fragrance. I said, girl, this is so old, okay? And it may be hard to find, but we'll try to find it for you. Anyway, Tom Ford's, not Orchid Soleil, Orchid Soleil. I get them so confused. Solay Blanc and Orchid Soleil. So this is Orchid Soleil. I found this a couple years ago in Africa, and I was head over heels when I found this, but I think you can find this in America too, y'all. So the next one we're going to talk about are two from the house of Mimo Paris, and this is Maderai, okay? And this one also is Marfa. Now, Marfa is, it's creamy, orange blossom, it's green, it's powdery in the dry down, but you mainly get a orange blossom tuberose from this fragrance with a lot of vanilla, y'all. Anyway, such a beautiful fragrance. Sexy. This is grown. This is date night worthy, but vanilla, orange blossom, tuberose. It's warm, a little spicy, and a gorgeous bottle. This is the Protective Eye, but a beautiful, creamy, heavy, powerful tuberose. Now, if you want something a little bit fruitier, lighter, and airier, and you still love the note of tuberose and you want it a little spicy, maybe a little earthy, then try Maderai. Maderai holds the note of a slight tangy peach in here, or let's say unripened peach. A lot of jasmine. There's Indian jasmine in here. There's regular jasmine. And then there's another jasmine. Anyway, there's like 3 jasmines to the top of this fragrance. And there's some Indian tuberose in here. There's some, I think there's marigold in here as well with some peaches and a beautiful lush sandalwood. So sandalwood, jasmine, peaches, and a little hint of a tuberose. But you definitely get those peaches in here that makes this really beautiful, you all. Anyway, this is juicy, mouth-watering, a little green. Get your nose on these two fragrances, Maderai, and this is Marfa. Love them both. The next one we're going to talk about is by the House of Christian Provenzano, and this one's called Palazzo. So I'm going to give you the notes of Palazzo. I love Palazzo. If you like, I was saying the Monogatachini's Wild Tuberose, then you're going to love Christian Provenzano's Palazzo. This is a fresh, mossy, citrusy tuberose scent. A little sweet. It smells grown. It doesn't smell vintage, but it smells very elegant. It smells like the queen, you know. This is a queen tuberose right here. But that mossiness, the freshness, the citruses, there's bitter orange in here. There's a beautiful bergamot. There's a beautiful, slightly warm tuberose, a slightly buttery, warm vanillic tuberose as well. But the bottle is stunning. But you definitely have to be a tuberose lover. It's not sharp. It is very elegant, okay? What other tuberose is in Palazzo? It's Indian tuberose. Oh, there's peaches in here. It gives it that fruitiness. That kind of tames that tuberose down as well. No, this is not like the peaches in Maderai. Maderai, you get an unripened peach. This one's like a ripened peach. Not overly sweet, not overly ripened, but just ripened. And there's some Cambodian oud in here. It's very ambery in the dry down. I don't get a oud in here. If anything, that Cambodian oud gives it a bit more of a sweetness and makes it smell a little woody in the dry down. But anyway, Palazzo by Christian Provenzano. It is gorgeous, but you gotta like tuberose, you guys. So the next one we're gonna talk about is beautiful. It is a fruity, creamy tuberose gardenia. It is wedding day worthy. Actually, both of these are wedding day worthy. You may want to smell like a bride of maturity. You may want to smell like a bride of youth, okay? And this one is, well, let's talk about the one, a bride of maturity first. So this one's Honor Woman. I love Honor Woman. It is a gorgeous, slightly green, a little sharp in the opening, but it gets creamy. You get that, I think the sharpness comes from the rhubarb in here, but it dries down fruity, lush, sweet, creamy, and elegant. And then we have Love Tuberose as well. This one is for that tuberose lover that is just dipping their toes into tuberose. It is very soft, fluffy, marshmallowy, whipped creamy, sweet, vanillic, you know. Not too heavy on the tuberose. So if you like fragrances like Blanche Bed or Madeline by Masque Milano, then I think you're gonna like this one as well, you guys. Anyway, Amouage, two beautiful tuberose fragrances, one for that youthful, fun, you know, flirty bride, and one for that mature, sexy, you know, bride that knows what she wants in life. She may be on her second or third marriage out, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, get your nose on it. So the next one we're going to talk about, I already talked about Quattro Pizzi, y'all. I need to get me something to sit this stuff on. Anyway, this is Vanille Leather by BDK. You guys, I ordered a 10 ml of this fragrance, and I initially gave it away. But as I started to fall in love with Iris, I started to fall in love with this fragrance. I love the note of tuberose. That's why I purchased it. Tuberose. I love the note of leather, a very suede-like vintagey smelling irisy tuberose leather. It's creamy. Yes, I love this. Iris, tuberose, and suede and vanilla. This is very mature, okay? This is definitely also giving like queen vibes, okay? Or if you are very young and you want to just smell like a lady, okay? Beautiful, lush, suede, vanilla, and tuberose, and a beautiful powdery iris in the dry down. It's giving a slight metallic-y note, but I think it's the combination of the tuberose and the iris and the suede mixed together. It is lovely. Get your nose on Vanille Leather. Y'all, I can't believe I fell in love with this, but I fell in love with this after I fell in love with the note of Iris Oris about a year ago. Anyway, get your nose on this, and the bottle is stunning, okay? The next one I want to talk to you guys about is two more, you guys, okay? I think it's two more, or a couple more. So anyway, this is the House of Beau, and this is the House of Beau, yes, because there's a fragrance called Beau, but this is the House of Beau Lamar. This has almond milk in here, or coconut milk. There's also some marine notes in here. So this is more of an aquatic tuberose. It's very fresh, watery, juicy in the opening, but it dries down almost like a whipped creamy, milky, lactonic tuberose. It is absolutely gorgeous. This bottle is expensive. I want to talk about another fragrance before I talk about this one as well. This is Beau. I don't know if I wrote down the notes for this one, you guys. But anyway, there's some marine notes, there's some tuberose, there's some gardenia in here that I could smell. It's a beautiful lactonic, smooth, creamy white floral with a slight sweetness to it. It is gorgeous, it is elegant, it is demure, it is quiet luxury. Get your nose on it. Lamar by the House of Beau. The next one we're going to talk about actually are some samples. I forgot to mention it. So I got some samples from the Scentbird. I actually purchased this, but I will soon be an affiliate of Scentbird. I think they're going to send me over like 1 cent a month, or I get to choose 1 cent a month. But I had the subscription where I ordered 3. Well, I got Casablanca. You guys, I just realized that Casablanca has the note of fig in there. In Casablanca, I don't have the cards, but we're going to talk about these separate. Casablanca is totally giving me South of 5th. I actually went to go look up the perfumers. They're giving the same vibe, you guys. But South of 5th is, I want Casablanca because of the fig note. This has no fig note, but it has that same greenness. It's Siberian pine in here that's giving the greenness, and it's the fig in Casablanca by the House of Beau that's giving the greenness. But they smell so similar to me. I just sat there and sprayed them on my arm one at a time. I was going back and forth. I was like, wow. Then I went to look up the perfumer. They're different perfumers. The perfumer for this one, I think it's Hamid Maradi Kashani, that I can remember. Yeah, I think so. That one is Alex. I think it's the guy behind the brand. So anyway, I love it. Do love Bonbon. I'm going to do a review on that as well. But I love Casablanca. Aromas de Aesthetics, Inez over on Instagram, which she had a YouTube channel as well, but she doesn't. Maybe one day she will. She was in love with Casablanca, and I could not for the life of me figure out why. I was like, based on the notes, I think that I would love Bonbon, which is the lychee. It's marshmallow, lychee, and some other florals. It's green. Y'all, I fell in love with Casablanca more. Anyway, I have like 6 or 8 from the House of Beau. All are samples, plus I have 1 bottle, and we will definitely do a review on that. So last but not least, I think I've given you all everything, okay? Last but not least is one that I was actually gifted. You guys, this right here, order a sample. And this is by the Fragrance Group, okay? The Fragrance Group, the Niche Perfume Collection. And this one's called Ruby Love. They actually asked me to pick which one that I loved. This comes with a very nice, it came very well boxed, a very luxurious, I did it over on Instagram, packaging. I need to do, I think I'm going to order the sample kit because this fragrance is so good. I really want to get my nose on the rest of them. So anyway, they actually send you over, this is a personalized fragrance. They send you over a passport for it. This actually has my name on it. That says Marcelena, USA. It has a seal on here. And if you scan this with your phone, it will actually give you the information of the fragrance personalized just for you. They only make, I think, 10 of these fragrances every month. So it's very personable. I will list the information down below. But you guys, I was not expecting, they are out of Turkey. I was not expecting this to be a love upon first sniff. The packaging is very luxurious. It has a sleeve like this, like so. It's a little tight on this sleeve, and I'm scratching up the box. Anyway, this is the box, okay? It is very heavy, very demure, very elegant, okay? This is the bottle that it's housed in, and this is one of the best. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like, I'm so glad that I chose this one. I do have 2 samples, so maybe I'll do this as a single review right along with the 2 samples that I have. But this one, y'all, was my favorite, and Opal was one of my favorites as well that I have the sample of. There's tuberose in here, there's caramel, there's a milk note in this fragrance. Tuberose, it's a milky, lactonic, sweet, vanillic, caramelly tuberose scent. There is nothing like this. Fragrance is a beast. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. It comes with this ruby here, you know, in the center. The bottle is heavy. The cap is heavy. Like I said, I do want to get my nose on more from this fragrance house. But this one, y'all, yeah, this is hard for me to not put in a top 10. This is at least going in a top 20 for life, okay? It is absolutely stunning. But you get that milkiness, that lactonic is a milk note. There's a lot of milky caramel, like dulce de leche. But you get a beautiful tuberose in here. You know, EBK who? Okay. Anyway, I love this fragrance. I think there may be some gardenia in here as well. It lists the note of patchouli, but I don't get a patchouli in here at all. I literally get a lush sandalwood, some florals, milk notes, or dulce de leche, caramel, and tuberose. It is sweet. There's something fruity in here. I think this holds a note of like passion fruit or peaches, or like some red berries in here as well. It almost gives you a little bit of that, what is that fragrance by Byron? It kind of gives you a little bit of that DNA, but y'all, this one is amazing. I took this to work. I let everyone smell it. They fell in love with it. The fragrance group, get your nose on this house, order samples. I do think they have a discovery kit. I'm gonna order that discovery set that they have. It is gorgeous. Yeah, I was stunned and I was amazed by this fragrance. The packaging was so luxurious, and the entire house. So anyway, y'all, get your nose on this fragrance here specifically, and this one is called Ruby Love. All right, y'all, I think we went through a bunch of tuberose fragrances. There's also one by the House of Kayali, Deja Vu White Flower. I did not want to overwhelm you all, but I got a lot of tuberose fragrances that I absolutely love. It is a beautiful, fruity, floral, white floral gardenia tuberose scent with some nectarines inside. It is so juicy, mouth-watering, floral, and kind of like, you know, it's quiet, very quiet, but it's gorgeous in its own right. And that is Deja Vu White Flower, 57, I think it is, by the House of Kayali. Anyway, you guys, go out to the world, spread amazing sillage, do good, be good, and I finally can put these fragrances up. Bye-bye. Love you guys.